Hi guys, so I'm getting back into playing D&D, so I'll be digging out my old player's handbooks. Well, I've got the 2024 one coming soon. I've also got this one, Dungeons& and Dragons starter set, but it's a Stranger Things one. Just because I love the look of that, because it reminds me of, well, when I used to play back in 1983 with the original sets. Yes, I am that old. But yeah, this is what I've made today. It's a little D&D diorama of an adventurer, well, just going into his first little dungeon dive there. But obviously with the books, yeah, dice. This is no reason why I love this game, because obviously the dice are, well, all shapes and sizes. And as you can see, I've got this lovely new set, and this was sent to me by Dice Nest. I will leave links in description. Yeah, awesome quality. Obviously one of my favourite colours, nice orange here. Look really, really good. And yeah, so they play really, really well. Obviously, one thing I do like about these dice is the four-sided dice. If you've seen any of the recent ones or the old ones, they are normally triangular. So they're a lot smaller, sometimes difficult to read. Whereas this one, it's a four-sided dice, which, yeah, you can read instantly. And I have to say, I absolutely love the quality of these. But as well as these normal dice, they sent me something, well, something completely different and very special. And that was this little, well, again, a lovely looking presentation sort of box, a great way of keeping your dice. But these aren't dice, these are more counters. So these are like a bronze style. They do a few other sort of styles as well, but I like the aged bronze style. And these are, well, the counters. So yeah, rather than rolling dice, you're now got the option of spinning counters. So there's a nice bit of weight to these as well. Very well made, very well crafted. And obviously there's a full set of 7 of these, because that's how many sort of dice you normally use. And with these, it is a case of spinning it, and you go to stop it with your finger. And where your finger lands, well, that's the number you get. Obviously, you may get the old cross line, so that's just like doing the dice when they're not laying flat. But yeah, you spin these and put your finger on them. Again, guys, everything in this video isn't sponsored by anyone. I am just going to show a whole variety of things that I use in, well, my sort of daily sort of life as a YouTuber when I'm building things, making things, or playing with things. So say all links down below. Go check them out. So no one's paid me to do anything. No one's telling me to say anything. You're just going to hear me waffling on and yeah, having fun. But these counters, yeah, so I love the weight, very well built, and just something different, which is always fun to play with. So back to this. This is what I've made. And yeah, say because I'm getting back into D&D, I need, well, I don't need to, but I want to print more miniatures. And somewhere I love getting stuff is Kraken Studios. You'll have seen me use these in the past. But this is something I will be doing soon is the zombies, because, well, I love zombies. But obviously you would have seen me in the past use their stuff for the Bloods Bowl team. So it's the Kraken Fantasy Stadiums. And this is where I got everything for the, well, the 2 Blood Bowls that I made. And as you can see, yeah, awesome sculpts, awesome miniatures, and an absolute ton of stuff, which is just great. But obviously, say I'm getting back into D&D. So I'm now looking at their fantasy dungeons sort of miniatures. And as when I was looking at the miniatures is when I then saw some of their sort of terrain pieces. And that got me thinking, yeah, I'm going to print miniatures off because, well, I love miniatures, but also I make a little diorama. And after seeing some of their dungeon set stuff, this is kind of why I made the video that you're now watching. So yeah, this is a late Kickstarter they kind of did ages ago, or fantasy pledge. You can late pledge to get obviously the rest of these awesome looking terrain pieces. But yeah, say this is obviously you can use these to, well, play a game on, whether it's D&D or even Hero Quest. You could use these sort of tiles for. But I saw these and instantly thought, yeah, I want to make a little diorama, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you I've done here. So this is a pretty simple looking diorama, but it's one that's obviously in a sort of a photo frame, which I absolutely love. So it can be sort of freestanding, and this was actually printed in one piece. Well, actually 2, I guess, as the miniature was printed separately. Yeah, so this whole piece, yeah, it was just one whole thing. And I achieved this by using TinkerCAD. You're going to see me use this quite a few times, and I absolutely love this. It's free online software, so anyone can use it. You don't have to pay for it. And to say, being free, absolutely awesome. Relatively simple, which is great for the likes of me, because it means there's not too many options, not too many things to click on. But it is a great way of joining things together, taking things apart, or cutting bits up. So as you can see, yeah, when I unexplode this, you get to see all the separate components that I've kind of, well, put together. So I got the frame from somewhere. I will try and leave links down below to everything in this, guys. But I say obviously the main bits of this is from Kraken Studios. So yeah, their links will be down below. And yeah, when this thing explodes apart, I say you got the front bit there, which is obviously a kind of typical photo frame. And then the actual diorama itself. This is made up of a few extra components. So the D&D sort of logo sign, yeah, that's something separate as well as the stairs are being separate, and the well, the arch that's there as well. That's separate, and in fact, that's one piece that I copied, pasted, and then spun round to get obviously the nice arch bit that I wanted. So again, guys, check out all the links down below. Some are affiliate links, which means it doesn't cost you anything, but I get a few pennies from it. And others are, well, they're just links to things I use and get, which is pretty cool. So as you can see, yeah, originally I did make a little box for this diorama to go in. Because, say, my plan was for it to be a sort of a photo frame diorama, because I do like making these kind of things up. But then when I actually came to sort of painting it and that, I liked the idea of being able to see, well, around the side and around the back of this thing. So yeah, I was going to put this in a box and put lights in it, which is why, as you can see here, the Bamboo Lab A1 printer did the box. It's obviously awesome printer, guys. Yeah, FDM printer. This is my favorite printer ever, and so is this, the Halo X1. This printer is awesome. It prints really differently because, as you can see, the bottom plate comes up. The build plate doesn't move. It's the VAT and everything else that comes up. And the other thing I love about this is how you get miniatures off. Yeah, another unique way. It's got these little flappy paddles at the top. I will do another video and show more about this Halo X1 printer. There's a video out there as well you can go and check out. But yeah, these flappy paddles push these bars out, which just pushes the miniatures off. So no more scraping miniatures off, which is just awesome because I used to hate doing that, and I have many a times, well, cut myself. But yeah, no more. So it's been for a little wash. Obviously, still wearing the gloves because it's still got resin sort of residue all over it. Supports come off perfectly. Again, I'll leave links to the all the printers that I've used in this video, as well as the resin. This is some cool resin by Halo, and it's their 16K standard resin. But as you can see by the supports, yeah, rather than sort of like snapping, there's quite a bit of bendiness in this, which is cool. I have done some miniatures as well. Video will be coming out soon showing them, and yeah, you'll be able to see just, well, how good this resin is. So yeah, this piece came out in one. Obviously, whenever I do these kind of things where I join things together and then try and print them in one, yeah, you're never quite sure how they're going to come out, especially when the supports are just done in the software. So there's no magical supports. This is just bog standard supports. So yeah, this came out perfectly though, which I was very pleased about. And I say, I love how it looks. Very simple little diorama. But for me, simple is best sometimes. So yeah, the box. Obviously, I could have really painted or printed this in black, but obviously printed it in red. So this was the plan. It was going to slide in. So I was going to put some LEDs on the inside just so I could light it up. But yeah, when I was painting it, it was like, nah, I prefer the look of this unpainted. So that's kind of exactly what I did. Yeah, in the bottom, I didn't have a bottom bit to that bit. So the first step would have been a trap straight away. So this dude would have lost a leg of his life. So a little bit of printed bit there, and then just some little sand. Also with the side bits here, yeah, they stuck out far too much. So I kind of cut them out in TinkerCAD, knowing that I would just get some green stuff and then make my own little stones to go on this. Again, this is one of these projects where I just wanted to make something and then make it out of, well, whatever I've kind of got to hand. And just, again, guys, I make videos to have fun. As much as I am sponsored and I do show printers and laser engravers and paints and brushes and anything else that I'm fortunate enough that companies send me, everything I do is purely for fun, which is why none of my videos are scripted. Which is kind of pretty obvious from my in, and definitely repeating myself. But I'm having fun. And that's what I do with every video I make on this channel. It's about me having fun, hopefully trying out new things, whether it's new products or new ways of painting or new ways of doing something. That's why, guys, always leave comments. I do love the comments. Apologies, I don't always respond to comments, but I certainly do read them all, especially when you guys suggest different things for me to go and try or use or do or find or print or whatever it is, because I love doing new things. I love trying out new stuff. And yeah, I am a big kid. Yeah, as always, guys, I've been using this kind of primer now for a good, I don't know, 3 years or more. So yeah, the Color Forge matte black, just because I've used loads of mattes or matte blacks in the past. And this one's always been the mattest, if that's such a word. But yeah, comes out really well. So even with dioramas and, well, buildings, terrain, I still sort of do the old slap chop method for everything, just because, well, it works. I say, as much as I like trying new things, I've always got this to fall back on. So if everything goes wrong, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to start painting some stuff, slap chop it, because I know it's going to work really well. And I say, even terrain, plus this terrain from Kraken Studios, as you can see, plenty of texture, plenty of detail. So yeah, using speed paints on this is going to work really, really well. So with the front, yeah, because I say this is going to be like kind of like a photo frame. I've done a few dioramas with photo frames, but in the past I've generally printed out the frame and then done the inside separately or built it up sort of separately. So this is the first time doing the sort of the front of the photo frame and, well, the whole diorama in one go. So that's why I wanted to make a sort of antique-y, bronzy gold sort of frame. So with the stones, yeah, I've got a few sort of particular colours that I like using for stone. Typically, it is normally grey, but for some dungeon ones, I love using this zombie dip, just because it makes things look a little bit more, I don't know, a bit more damp and creepy being green stones rather than the sort of grey stones. I don't know if you guys might agree or disagree. Again, this is where everyone's got their own preference on how what we like and what we do. But the only thing I can only ever stress whenever I'm making these things is whatever you're doing, have fun with it, because that's the whole thing about having a hobby. It's meant to be fun, and it's meant to be a good distraction from, well, real life issues and what's going on. So yeah, just have fun with it. Yeah, so the copper I did, it looked too dark and dingy, so I've gone over it with a bit of a gold, just to sort of, well, as it says here, bright gold. I wanted to brighten it up, brighten it up a little bit. I know some of you might say, oh, it would have been easier painting the miniatures separately, as opposed to putting them in the diorama. Yeah, I like making things a little bit awkward for myself, so I always put things together and then paint them, just because it is more fun. Plus, this way, when you are doing like the slap chop method, the areas you can't get to when you're doing the dry brushing, they're going to be darker. And in this case, it's good because if you can't get to it with the brush, it is going to be darker, because it's either going to be behind him, underneath him, or, well, somewhere you just can't get to, really. Anyway, yeah, I do waffle. Like I said earlier, yeah, I don't script anything. Sometimes I might have bullet points. If I'm using something like a printer or a laser engraver, and there's a few things I want to remember because I've got a memory like a sieve, then sometimes I'll have 1 or 2 bullet points written down. Other than that, guys, I'm just sitting here watching this like you, talking over it. I'm waffling. The thing is, I waffle because you can see what I'm doing. If you can't, then apologies, because I don't know what you're doing. If you can't see my video, you've clicked on something and you might have a black screen. I don't know. So yeah, he's obviously going to be painting him, but keeping his colours fairly sort of muted and neutral. So he's got brown trousers. He's going to have black shoes. He's got that runic sort of grey for shoulder pads, which is kind of a bluey grey. And then once I did paint everything, it looked too bright and shiny, so I went over everything with a good old wash, just because I still love washes, even though obviously I'm using dipping ink, dipping inks and speed paints. I do still sometimes go over things with a wash, just because when I look at it, it's like, nah, it's too clean, it's too neat, it's too tidy. That being said, obviously I am just going over a few edges here, highlighting, making the sort of shine to the things. But rather than using the white, I've used a bit of a blue there, as you saw. And then the candles. Yeah, this is where OSL, I'm pants. I can't do the object source lighting. It's shameful to say, but I'm a photographer. Well, used to be before doing this channel. So you think I know all sorts about light, and it's like, yeah, I do. I know how to use the light to my advantage when taking pictures. But when it comes to actually painting, yeah, again, I'm just having fun here, guys. So as much as I kind of know what I'm trying to achieve, sometimes it doesn't always work out exactly how I want. But as I say, I'm having fun. And when I first started doing painting, I worried too much. And I think sometimes if you worry too much about the painting, it makes the painting bad. You don't enjoy it. It can take forever to paint something simple and small and it still look pants. So yeah, say as much as I'm doing this and I'm thinking, yeah, this probably isn't the best way of doing OSL. This is what I'm doing. I'm enjoying it. And the end result, it ain't too bad. And in my books, ain't too bad is pretty good when you're having fun. So yeah, guys, if you are new to painting or you've been painting a long time and you're just not getting any better, kind of like me, just have fun. Just have fun with it. It really doesn't matter. As I say, this is a hobby to have fun. So yeah. So I just still persevered with the old OSL. Yeah, did a bit of the yellow, then thought let's put a bit of orange on there just to sort of mix it up a little bit, just so it looks like there is a bit of differentiation in sort of the flames. And then yeah, I thought I'd do that on the walls again. The weird thing is though, I have watched other people paint the object source lighting, if that's what OSL stands for, I think it is. But the problem is with some painters, when you watch them online, they make things look too easy. And then when you go and try and do it, it doesn't work. So that's kind of why I think I'm probably a good painter to try and follow, because it's easy to follow what I'm doing, because what I'm doing is so basic. Yeah, anyone can do what I'm doing. And you say the results, I'm happy with the results. And that's the main thing. So it didn't take too long to paint this guy, because obviously, well, Dip & Ink's speed paints especially, live up to their name. More time for gaming, less time painting and all that. So that's him done. Let's say this is where at the time of doing this or filming this, I was still going to use the box, which is why obviously I sprayed it black. So I don't know why I just didn't print it out in black, but hey ho, I have got black filament, so I could have done. But then I looked at it, and it just seemed a shame you couldn't see sort of the side view of this, especially because I say it was printed in one piece, so I like the look of it. I still like the look of it. Well, let me know, guys. Do you think I should have put it in the frame and put LEDs in it? Would that have made it any better or worse, or you're not fussed? Although saying it, guys, if you survived to the very end of the video, thank you so much for still being here. It does mean obviously a lot to me that you are sort of supporting the channel by watching videos all the way through, listening to me waffle. And yeah, obviously by you doing that, hopefully YouTube sees that as a good thing and pushes my videos out to more people, which is obviously what we all want. Anyway, guys, don't forget to check out all the links below to the printers that I've used, Kraken Studios, the dice, and everything else that's down there. By you just clicking on things, again, helps me out, as I am doing this full time, but I can only do it full time with your help. So yeah, I'm personally pleased I didn't put it in the box, just because you can see all the way around it, which I think is pretty cool. Again, I love the miniatures, so yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot more miniatures from Kraken Studios. I've actually just printed out a new kill team using some of their miniatures, not the fantasy range or the Blood Bowl ones, but some different ones. You'll see them coming up very soon. So guys, yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave comments down below, as it really does help me out and means so much. There's another video coming up on the screen in a moment. Give that a click, and again, help sort of promote the studio by seeing more of what I do. And if you want to become a patron like these people, and they definitely help out me. Yeah, links down below to how you can become a patron. I occasionally post there. Apologies that I should do more with my Patreon thing. But yeah, I'm just pants. Anyway, you guys take care. Bye now.